Hi, and welcome to this micro lesson. Micro lessons are where we share quick tips and tools for service providers supporting refugees and ORR eligible newcomers across the state of California. We are doing this project in partnership with CDSS and the Refugee Programs Bureau. My name is Carissa, and I'm an associate consultant with Solvera. And today we're going to be talking about something we all experience, and that is navigating language barriers beyond having an interpreter. Because we have all been in situations where there's just not interpretation. Somebody comes into our office, drops in, somebody's coming to apply for benefits at the office. All these different scenarios might come up, and you might not have an interpreter readily available, or they might be running late, or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's a lobby interaction, a home visit, a shelter intake, a benefits appointment, or community outreach event. All these moments can feel awkward and rushed and stressful for both the provider and the client if there isn't an interpreter there. So this micro lesson isn't going to be about getting things perfectly. It's about using simple, creative, human-centered approaches and techniques that help make clients feel safe, understood, and respected, and help do the same for you as well. We want all that to be true, even when language is limited. What happens when communication and language fails? When there are communication breakdowns, clients and providers may feel embarrassed, anxious, afraid of making mistakes, worried about their repercussions, afraid to ask questions. They might also feel pressure to explain or to support or to move forward and not waste time. So both clients and providers can feel all those emotions when that communication starts to break down. But remember, communication is way more than just words. Your tone, your pace, your presence, all of these are powerful tools to help lower stress and promote connection. So I'm going to go over a few different strategies I can use when interpretation isn't available and you're just navigating language barriers. So strategy number one is to slow it all down. Slowing your pace immediately makes communication easier. You can try using one idea per sentence, pausing between steps of a process, making sure we're using the most common form of all the words, like form, help, paper, tomorrow. You can point as you speak, and remember to avoid idioms and complicated vocabulary. Your calm pacing, slowing everything down, models safety and helps clients feel relaxed. And it naturally will tell yourself too that it's okay, we can do this. Strategy number two, use your hands, your face, your voice, all to communicate. Nonverbal communication can carry the whole conversation pretty much. You can use an open posture, warm expressions, slow, steady hand gestures, nodding, and relaxed eye contact. Make sure to avoid sharp pointing or looking rushed and visibly checking the clock or expressions of frustration, all which are very valid, but you want to avoid demonstrating those to the other person in this scenario. Your body language will say, I'm here with you, and we can take this one step at a time. Strategy number three is visuals, realia, and environment. Visuals bridge language gaps pretty quickly. So you can try pointing to a calendar or circling or highlighting form fields. You could draw a timeline. You could use objects like keys or medication or document or a piece of paper, or like I mentioned earlier, the calendar. And you can use simple icons. So you can pull something up on your computer, like a drawing of a house or of a car, and those can be helpful to show what you're talking about. These small visual hints reduce confusion and is inviting clients to participate as well. Strategy four is tech-assisted communication. Translation tools can help, but there are limits. Some good uses of technology translation tools that can be helpful, like looking up single vocabulary words on Google Translate, or using visual identification, translating labels or instructions, or taking a picture of a document to highlight a specific part. Using tech-assisted communication is not always going to be the best for trauma conversations, medical explanations, legal content, or anything that is more high risk. This is not to say not to use interpretation, but this is when you're trying to navigate a situation without a trained interpreter there. So it's always important to double check understanding using gestures and yes or no questions. Strategy 5, empathy and dignity. You're going to hear me in most all of our micro lessons point back to these things. When language is limited, your emotional presence becomes your primary form of communication. Use a calm voice, short acknowledgments like, okay, it's all right, take your time. Staying grounded in your posture and showing appreciation. Thank you so much for trying with me. We're in this together. Remember, even when words fail, warmth does create that connection. I'm going to take a second to talk about why stress can make language harder. The affective filter refers to how stress can block comprehension. When someone feels scared, embarrassed, rushed, their brain literally starts to shut down the language processing, and this can happen to both the client and the provider. This is why even simple sentences can feel impossible, and why even parts of your job feel way harder than they used to because you are starting to shut down all the language processing because you're getting a little bit stressed, and you can see the client is as well. So when you are in those moments, I want you to soften your shoulders, take a slow breath, consciously lower your voice, allow silence, and remind yourself this is hard for both of us, and that's okay. Your calmness is going to help lower their affective filter. Your kindness to yourself will also help you communicate more clearly. Again, you don't need perfect words. You just need that presence. Hopping back into strategies. Your strategy number 6, check for understanding without shame. So instead of saying, do you understand? Try saying, is this okay? Maybe give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You can say, show me the right one. Use gestures or drawings to make confirmation, or repeat those key points slowly. All this will help build that confidence and will help you check for understanding. Strategy number 7, know when to pause or reschedule. Sometimes communication is just not going to work. No matter how many times we try, or no matter if we're taking those deep breaths, sometimes you really do need to wait for an interpreter or you need to reschedule the meeting. And also, sometimes it's not safe enough to continue. You might need to pause if you need to make sure that rights or consent have to be explained, or that the topic involves trauma or complex decisions or risk, or if the client starts to look and feel really distressed. You can say, I want to make sure that we are doing this the right way. We'll meet again with an interpreter. When you say it like that, the communication is respectful and is not dismissing. To recap, even when you don't share a language, or even when an interpreter isn't there, you can still communicate safety, clarity, and support. Remember, slow down, use visuals or props that you find, stay grounded, be kind to the client and yourself, lean into patience a little bit more. The goal isn't perfect communication, it's that human connection. Thank you for watching this micro lesson on navigating language barriers. Please take a moment to complete our feedback survey to help us continue improving these micro lessons. You can also visit Support Guide for more micro lessons and other tools and webinars. We are so thankful for the work that you do. Thank you again for watching. This lesson is from Solvera, your partner in Impact.